because I want to do it a little different this week than I normally do. And that is because the questions that came in today were to do with the physical body, upsets and illnesses and different things here, and the emotional body. And the first thing I want to remind you is everything that occurs on the outside of you is created from the inside. When your physical body or emotional body or mental body are giving you upset or distress signals, there's something going on within you. In our society, we're told if it's uncomfortable, run away from it. Let it go, heal it, and let it go. The thing is, when you're doing that, it's not going anywhere. You still have it. The origin of the distress is still there. And so instead, take time to be able to go inside and ask what this is about. Where is the core issue? What is it? And just let yourself travel back. And then embrace whatever it is. It doesn't mean hold on to the lower vibrating energy, that what we call the negatives. It's knowing in the wisdom of who you are and the knowledge that you encompass. You chose this experience for a reason. And as you go in and you look at this without fear, you're able to identify and then let go of blocked energy. Now, one of the things I want to do today also, so I want us to take a moment to breathe. I want you to breathe deep into yourself through your nose, and let's exhale out through the mouth. All the way in, exhale out. Breathe all the way in and exhale out. Feel the body and mind already relax. Well, now I want to do something else. This breath, and I'm going to move the screen a little, I want you to breathe into your heart center. Go into the deepest parts of you. Yeah, I know you can't see my face now. And tap into the essence of who you are. Deep breath in through your nose all the way to your heart center. Connect. Exhale out what doesn't serve you any longer through your mouth. Deep, deep, deep breath all the way into the center of your heart, connecting to the essence of who you are. Exhaling out all that doesn't serve you. One more time, deep breath in. Exhale out what doesn't serve you. When you're finding yourself in points of distress, that's one of the best things you can do. Why? Because it takes you out of your mind. It takes you into the inner essence of who you are, into that pure life force of all that you are. When I'm working, I don't feel any physical distress or emotional or mental distress. And that's because I'm at a vibration that is beyond that. When we go into those higher points of love, that highest point, the lower vibrations cannot connect to us. Yet we are choosing to walk a physical life. And so it's good for us to be present here and look at where it came from. But like I said, do it without fear. Now, with that all said and done, I'm going to ask Nancy about the questions and what it is. So my hope is, well, she can come sit closer to me, and I'm going to move this out a little bit so she can be heard too.
All right. From Juliana. I've been plagued by tinnitus for several years. It shows up mostly in quiet times, early a.m. when I want to go back to sleep after being jarred awake by a sudden noise, or when I'm trying to get to sleep. I can sometimes mask the noise with relaxation or ocean sounds. At times, the noises become painful. Other times, it's almost imperceptible. Although I am aware of the physical and emotional or psychological circumstances that trigger this condition, the customized hypnotherapy tapes I acquired recently seem like one piece of the puzzle that may take some time to stick for more than a few hours. I've been told that ringing in the ears can also be a form of spiritual protection or ascension symptoms. Can you shed some light on this and offer other ideas for reducing or eliminating the noise? It is bliss when I'm experiencing quiet stillness that's actually quiet.
You know, one of the things I'm going to put out there right away is my group is not authorized, it is not licensed, there's no permits to actually work in this physical world. So if you're having a physical, mental, or emotional distress or anything else that requires a professional, please go to a professional in the physical world. Yet I'll bring this in another way here. We can, just a second, I seem to be getting, all of a sudden I got stopped and now I know why. We have a lot of different things going on. Anyway. There are a lot of different physical reasons that can cause this this occurrence in the ears. It can be damage to the eardrum, bone hardening. It can be diabetes. It can be many different things. So again, it is good to check with a professional, a doctor, that sort of thing. One of the ways to actually address it is to sit in meditation and not focus away from the sound, but focus into the sound. You'll find that, and this has been recommended by another person that actually did this himself. And as he meditated on the sound, all of a sudden his mind did what minds do when meditation comes in. It refocuses in a different area. He found that when he did this, that all of a sudden he was no longer plagued by the irritation. It actually brought in a sense of calm when the noise in the ears would occur. So that's one way to do it also. There are other ways to address it. It could be a zinc deficiency, a vitamin D deficiency, a B12 deficiency, and other ways. Now, I want to look at it from a different perspective, and this is what Juliana was talking about, communication from outside the physical world. Yes, it can very much be part of the Ascension program. It can very much be communications from those that don't live at this vibration. And it is forms of communication. There are times that it'll hit me, and what I do is ask them to tone it down because it's too intense. Our language is not universal. When we're moving out and outside of planet Earth, everybody does not speak English or Portuguese or Spanish. It's tones, frequencies, and our inner self understands these tones and frequencies. Many times it can be a download of information. You'll notice that at times it happens at a specific time. Juliana woke up at being jarred out of a sleep and having this noise. There again, if we're having too much come in during our dream state, we can get kicked out of sleep. That doesn't mean the communications have quit. It means they're still there and ongoing, but it is too intense. And so that's one of the things to look at there. Also, when you're hearing this, ask. You know, many people say, well, how do I go about doing this and identifying who it is? Ask. Ask if it's a guide. Ask if it's a loved one who's crossed. Ask if it's beings from other worlds sending information and messages down. Don't hold hard and fast to it with your mind. Instead, put the question out and ask for identifiers. Let it be that it comes into you in the way that is perfect for you. Again, mankind or humankind tends to try to put things in a logical, rational aspect. For whatever reason, we want to use the word ratio, and that is because that holds the vibrations that we need to create a stronger and more beneficial communication for you. These tones, these sounds, if you think about them, when you're not in a physical world, when you're out in the universe, and many of you travel out and out into the universe off and on all through the days and all through your nights, there is no sound. It is just pure correction. There is no language. There's pure sound, frequencies, movement of energy. and it encompasses much communication. We ask that you be at rest with some of this sound that comes into you. Allow yourselves to pose questions. Ask if they can tune it in or dial it in more clearly. Feel. Don't just listen. Feel with all that you are. What does it feel like to you? Does it feel as if it is a memory of one that you knew on this earth? Does it feel as if the purest form of what mankind has identified as the angelic realm? Does it feel as if it is emotionally disconnected and slightly cold or barren? Many of the beings outside of an emotional world are feeling cold, feeling almost discomfortable. And that is because they do not connect in this way, but they are not a threat of any type. So this is the thing to do. Check on a physical level, but check on a level of understanding, a level of, again we go here, a level of understanding. We ask that you not try so hard, instead that you allow yourself to have more fun with it, that you let it be an experience of joy in this wondrous communications that you are having. This will open the doors to further communication on all levels. Communication, not just outside of yourself, but communications with deep inside of yourself, so that you open up the doorways and passageways to hear the more of who you are. And so we're going to leave that one there. And the next question is?
From Denise. My question, am I making the right decision letting a family member move with me, or will they burn me again?
Okay, this one caught my attention. And please remember, there is no judgment in any type of answer that I give. First of all, when you pose a question in that form, you're setting it up. You've already put that energy out. You're already focused on what can go wrong. It's already, creating an issue. What I would like you to do, and it sounds like the family member's already moved in, but it is look at how this family member is bringing you the opportunity to set loving boundaries, and set it up as to what your expectations of anyone that moves into your home. Write out a physical contract and have them sign it. Discuss the issues. Both of you kind of pull yourself in. You don't discuss what actually is going on. This person's already feeling as if they are at the mercy of everybody else. That isn't your stuff. That's their stuff. They get to deal with it. But for you, open the doors to communication. Open the doors for seeing positive coming in this, and also see what this person, the message they're bringing you, and anything they're mirroring back at you. Those who come in and irritate us the very most bring us some of the biggest messages, but those messages aren't necessarily just outside of us. They're things going on inside of us. So look at it in a way that brings it up to a positive level, and also let them know that if it is only to be temporary, how temporary is that? Put a time limit. Set your boundaries. Don't move the boundaries to, goodness, there's words get lost there when it's setting boundaries. This is a challenge of yours, and holding them. You do not set boundaries and then pull them back to accommodate somebody else. This is time for you to set boundaries that honor who you are, honor your home space, and hold those. Okay? Okay.
Michelle says, my husband and I are not well. Will we be okay in the end?
The simple answer here is yes. You will be okay in the end. And when I look at this, it was, which end are you talking about? And so one of the things, start being more specific in what you're putting out there. For whatever reason, I keep picking up on your bodies need detoxification, air purification in the home, and check your water. There is something going on there. I use an infuser and put Purify by doTERRA in my infuser. It's like, oops, I've had a little blip today. And that actually goes out and clears the air. So look into something like that. It also shows if you're not using an air purifier of some sort, it would be very good for you to do it. It also, one of the things I want you to look at is where, and this feels like it's more attached to you than your husband. Remember, we energetically connect. We're empathic, some of us more so than others. And so when one of you has a distress within the body, the other one pulls it in and actually feels it within their own body. Separate your energy bodies. But yes, you will, and you start focusing on perfect health, and knowing that it's there for you. Also, go in and ask, what are these symptoms representing from within inside of me? What is the message in them? And so, yes, you do all both begin the road to perfect health and bringing in, when I say perfect health, okay, this is what they're saying. We cannot guarantee you perfect health. That choice is yours. We can say that you may obtain it, yet it is up to you to take your steps to reach this attaining. And so understand, you have that ability. It lives within each and every being, yet it is the choice of each and every being. The information can be given, yet it is always up to the other person to be able to take the steps that opens the door to their health. We do use terms like perfect health, for we wish for you to use those also. For as you focus on distress within the body, mind, or spirit, you create that distress. So speak as if that perfect health is always here in the now. Not outside, will we be, will it come, is it going to be? All of that keeps it out, away from your own grasp, out, away from your own attaining. So instead it is, I have a body that is perfectly healthy. I feel it is supported in all ways. Everything that I eat, everything I consume is providing the best health for me, all of the nutritional matter that is mine and necessary for me. Again, I do perfect health in every way. And so, allow it to be. And yes, you create that. Okay. This is our day of interruptions. And so I have granddaughters that are coming to pick up kayaks. And I got started about a half hour late. So we have our welcoming committee going on. And they're saying hi. You know, this is life. This is the way it is. Think about when you're working in an office somewhere and somebody comes into your cubicle as you're in the middle of doing the most important job of the day. We always go back to it. We can take that break. We have one more question I want to answer, and then we'll be done so I can go help load some kayaks.
Barbara says, I feel lost. When I think something good is going to happen in my life, something around the corner pulled me away from it. My heart is broken and I feel so lost. Is there a better outcome in my life?
Oh my goodness, I feel the emotion in this one. And yes, Barbara, there is a better outcome. I want you to step away from words like, my heart is broken. We give commands to the body, and that can cause upset within your heart muscle. And we do not want that. One of the things, it's a habitual pattern. It's been experienced once, twice, 3 times, that you started to reach for something good and something came around the corner and negated it. And so all of a sudden that was a created scenario, and it became kind of put in there as an inferred response for the next time that you reached out for something good. And the next time, and the next time. And I have been in that pattern. Mine was years ago, I was a single parent, and things would come in. I'd get a little extra money, income tax return, and I think, oh, good, some fun money, and then something would come to take it away, and that is because I held that expectation without realizing it. So look at where you're holding an expectation that the moment joy comes in, good comes in, that something's going to happen to take it away. Honor yourself and reclaim the joy. I want you to focus on the good in your life. When your mind starts to go off into this idea of, uh-oh, something's going to happen, something's not right, I want you to shift your thoughts to anything that brings joy, anything that brings happiness, and really embrace that, really focus on that. And that assists you in creating a new pattern. When you bring these good things in, what you consider good, I want you to stop for a moment and really be in that positive moment. Focus more energy in that positive than into the something will go wrong. Because as you do this, your energy is creating at the level of positivity, not the level of, oh my gosh. And remember, we create out in our life wherever we focus the most energy. I want you to look at your feelings of lack of deserving, and I also want you to look at your abandonment issues. And it's time for you to start supporting you and stop giving pieces of you away. Yes, it becomes better, yet you get to take the steps to claim that. Okay, everybody, with that, and since the day is going, I want to thank you for joining me. Thank you for your patience and understanding about the communication error. Who knows why it happened, but it happened. Anyway, love you all. See you next week. Do me a favor. Send your questions in beforehand, before the show, because it's so much easier to be able to answer them that way than trying to read them as they're coming up on the screen. And if I have time, I would go into those on the screen also. If you would like to look further into this, you can connect with me and set up an appointment, and we can look deeper into the issues that you're going through. Have a lovely week. See you next Wednesday at 8:30, not 9. We'll put it out there. The computer works, because that's how we create. Love you all.